Hey everyone, I'm your friend. Have you ever experienced something like this? You're lying in bed at night, unable to sleep, spending the entire night thinking about one problem or worrying about something. But when morning comes, you still haven't found any solution. Instead, you feel completely drained and exhausted because you slept so poorly. Or maybe sometimes your mind keeps replaying the same scenario or scene over and over, something you've experienced before. Like maybe you just finished a meeting with a colleague and you're thinking, what if I had said it this way instead? Or perhaps you had a get-together with friends, and now you're replaying that scene, wondering, did I say something wrong? Will they think less of me because of it? If any of this sounds familiar, congratulations! You've officially joined the Overthinkers Club. And if you're a member of this club, today's episode is definitely for you. Today, I want to share a really practical book with you. It's called Stop Overthinking by Nick Trenton. In today's episode, I'll share some key insights from this book. What is overthinking? Overthinking means thinking to the point where it starts affecting your health. Simply put, it's thinking excessively in a way that creates negative impacts on your physical and mental well-being. Here's an example. Say you're looking to rent an apartment and you're choosing between two units. You make a decision and sign the lease. But after signing, you start spiraling. Did I make the right choice? Am I paying too much? Was the other place actually better? Oh no, what if? You end up wasting energy thinking about things you can't even control anymore, making yourself anxious and stressed. That's classic overthinking. Why is it overthinking? Because at that point, your thinking isn't constructive anymore. You've already made the decision, but you're still obsessing over past choices, trapping yourself in negative emotions. I'm sure you've experienced this at work too. Maybe after giving a presentation or talking with your boss or colleagues, you think, why did I say that? That sounded so stupid. Why did I ask that question? Now they'll think I can't do my job. That voice in your head keeps amplifying these tiny details until you're consumed by anxiety. Now, if you're a member of the Overthinkers Club, you've probably wondered, why am I like this? Why don't other people seem to have this problem? That brings us to our next point. Why do we overthink? The book mentions two main factors that influence overthinking and anxiety: genetics and environment. Genetics. The book explains that anxiety can actually run in families. Psychologists believe about 30% of anxiety is genetic. How anxious parents raise their children can also make those children more anxious. For example, some parents might take away their child's bicycle after a small fall or constantly worry about their kids getting hurt when playing with others. Or they might constantly express their fears and worries about the world to their children. These behaviors send a message that the world is a dangerous place. Over time, children develop an anxious mindset. Let me share a bit. My own mom is the more anxious type. Even flying makes her worry, unlike most people who think, oh, you're taking a trip, have fun. She tends toward the worried and anxious side. Environment. External factors can increase our anxiety levels, like noisy environments, specific sounds, smells, etc., or our life experiences. Research shows that people who experience neglect or trauma during childhood are more likely to develop anxious tendencies. Anxiety can also come from modern life pressures, work stress, relationship stress, financial stress, etc. Honestly, in anywhere else in the world, many people have both factors working against them. Genetic predisposition plus environmental stressors making us incredibly anxious. And anxiety is a death spiral. The more anxious you are, the more you overthink. The more you overthink, the more anxious you become. Gradually, your anxiety problem gets worse, becoming a self-reinforcing habit. Negative consequences of overthinking. There are three main areas of impact: psychological, physical, and social. Psychological. Worry affects your confidence. Anxious people usually lack self-confidence. It affects your mood and concentration. When you're constantly thinking about one problem, your mind has no space for anything else. Long-term, this can even lead to depression. Physical. If you're in a constant state of worry, you might experience headaches, fatigue, rapid heartbeat, and tension. Research shows that chronic stress can actually weaken your immune system, making you more susceptible to illness. Social. Overthinking affects your relationships with others. Like the example at the beginning, you're so afraid of saying the wrong thing in front of people that over time, you become more withdrawn. You're scared to interact with others, which deepens your sense of isolation. How to stop overthinking. Don't worry, this book contains many practical methods to help you cope. The author teaches you strategies to use before or during these situations. But here's an exercise I want you to try. Over the next few days, pay attention to your moments of overthinking. What are you thinking about? Write it down. What situation triggered your overthinking? What thoughts did you have? And what emotions and physical reactions did this overthinking cause? Recording this will help us understand our own thought patterns better. That's the first step in overcoming overthinking. If you found today's episode helpful, remember to like and share it with your friends who are also members of the Overthinkers Club. See you next time.